what should people in their 20s now care about in 15 to 20 years' time? What should they know about? So I think New Zealanders should be focused on the costs over the next 15 to 20 years of the retiring baby boomers, not just in terms of superannuation, which we have with our current universal super paid from 65 system, but also healthcare costs, which are expected to rise quite substantially. At the same time as those people who will be paying taxes in 15 years' time, so those people who are aged anywhere from 15 to 45 now, they'll have to think about the choices they make over the next 15 to 40 years about who they vote for, what policies they vote for, what choices they make in their own lives in terms of savings, health care, accommodation, education, those sorts of things. So we do have a challenge, two particular challenges. One is the baby boomers are retiring, and the size of the working age population to support them in New Zealand, because we have a pay-as-you-go universal super system, it will be very difficult under the current settings to pay for them. For a couple of reasons. Without a change in the settings, so that means 65 and 66% of the average wage paid to couples. Without that change, you'll see a significant increase in the proportion of the government spend and the economy's spend that goes to pensions. At the same time, you'll have an increase in healthcare costs. The question is how much of an increase in healthcare costs and whether those settings would be changed before we get to the point of increased costs. Those baby boomers have already started retiring, and the next 10 to 20 years is the crucial period. And we've just had an election where those people who vote, and typically those aged over 35 to 40, vote at much higher rates and enrol at much higher rates than those under 40. They decided that it could be afforded, and the Prime Minister kept telling them that it could be afforded and that they don't need to worry about changing the retirement age. And particularly for those people who are manual workers, so people who are tired and sick at the age, in their 40s and 50s and really looking forward to retiring, they voted against the Labour proposal to extend the retirement age. And we're now having this leadership debate within Labour, and one of the first cabs off the rank in terms of policies to shoot is the retirement age change. So we've just had the political judgment on changing those settings to make them sustainable, and the political judgment of the people who vote was no. It's a problem for the next generation to deal with, and those guys are so empathetic, they're not even voting so tough. There's a couple of options there. One of which is to raise the retirement age, and this is the response that a lot of other countries have taken. And there's ways you can do that. You can either do it in arbitrary increments. Let's say it's 2 years by 2020, or 3 years by 2040, or whatever it is. Or you can do what some countries have done, which is create an automatic adjustment process that rises with longevity. So we can work out how long people are living by looking at the stats, and increase the retirement age to adjust to that. New Zealand's universal super system is actually quite good at doing a couple of things well. Firstly, it reduces poverty amongst the elderly. In fact, those people who are older in New Zealand have done much, much better in the last decade than those who are younger, because superannuation payments rise in line with wages, which typically rise faster than inflation, whereas other benefits rise with inflation. And also, pensions rise with average wages, which were also rising faster than median wages, because those wages at the top are rising faster than those at the bottom. Extending the retirement age, my personal view is that removing universality is probably not the best way. And first reason is it reduces poverty in old age. Second, it also encourages people to keep working. Now, there's a good thing and a bad thing about that. We need lots of people to keep working past the retirement age, so they keep generating taxes and effectively pay for their own pensions. And secondly, people are much healthier and better off if they keep working, and that must be a good thing. So that's why universality, I think, is a good idea to keep rather than going to means testing. So I'm slightly ambivalent about this because there's a bunch of people who could retire and create an opening for a younger person to get a job, but that is, yeah, on the whole, we need more people working than not working to pay the taxes to pay for all these costs.